Hey guys, welcome back to the Excel series. So in this video, we will cover what if analysis. So if I go through what if analysis, we have three things included. So one is scenario manager, another one is GoalSeek, and then data tables. So we will cover all of them. So let's begin with the scenario manager. So in scenario manager, you can see we can have a best case, then we can have a worst case, and we can have a base case also. So I have the figures for price, quantity, and revenue. And I have fixed cost and variable cost, where variable cost is taken as a proportion of sales. So I have revenue as 300 and then variable cost is 50% of it. So I have variable cost here as 150. All right. And then I have the profit, which has been taken after deducting total cost from revenue. So it's 300 and we have added these two, 165. So we deducted this and we got 135. All right. So let's begin with the problem now. We have to work through this up. So at present, you only see the base case working here. But let's get the entire picture of the report. All right. So I'll begin with scenario manager. So I will add a scenario now, and it is asking me to name the scenario. So I'll say best case, and it is asking me which cells will be changing. So as you can see here, we are changing price and quantity. So I'll just choose price and I'll choose quantity. Now I'll press OK. And here it is asking me to enter the value of the changing cells. So in the best case scenario, I'll just choose my price to be 4 and my quantity to be 150. And I'll just press OK. So I have one case created now. I will again add a new case. So in this one, I will just say it could be worst. And when I say worst, after that, I'll have to choose again my changing cells. So it would be again price and quantity. I'll press OK. And now I will just feed in the worst case possibilities. So price can be 2 and quantity can be 80. I'll just press OK. And now I have my best case and worst case. I'll just go again and I'll just write base case also. In base case, again, my changing cells will be this. I'll just press OK. And now, in the base case, my price is 3 and quantities. All right. So, I have my all cases now. In order to generate the report, I'll just press summary. So, I have my result. I can see here what will be my profit if I have a best case and what will it be if I have a worst case. So in this way, you can create many cases and you can find out what would be the suitable result coming out to be. All right. So let's move to GoalSeek case 1 now. All right. So we are at GoalSeek now. And suppose somebody runs his store and it has some men's item which are jeans, t-shirts, and tees, coats, shoes, and he wants to actually end his stock. So he's planning to give a discount. But however, he has decided that he does not want to offer a discount of more than 1,000 rupees. So in order to do this, what one can do is either he goes here and just keep on feeding the numbers and try to arrive at a number of the percentage discount, which actually comes around 1,000. Or what he can do is he can use GoalSeek. So basically, the purpose of GoalSeek is to change the cell and arrive at a particular number or figure you want to arrive at. So in this case, let's see the use of it. So in order to do this, I'll go to data tab and then what if analysis and then goals. Now at GoalSeek, it is asking me to set cell. So I'll say I want to set this cell. And to what value? I want to set it to 1,000. So by changing a cell, I will say I want to change this discount and I'll press enter. So if you see here, it is telling me what discount to be offered on each item in order to offer a cumulative discount of 1000 rupees only. And if I see this one, so you can see it is saying around this percentage 12.6588 some number, you have to offer this much amount of discount. Right? So this is one use of GoalSeek. Now let's see the another use of GoalSeek. We have another scenario here. So I have a price, I have a quantity, and I have revenue. Then we have a fixed cost and variable cost like the one we did for scenario. And then we have profit and variable cost is a percentage of sales. Now it is saying what would be the break-even sales quantity. In order to find that, I can use GoalSeek again. So I'll go to data, what if analysis, and I'll press GoalSeek. Now I have to set some cell. So it is saying break-even sales quantity. That means at that point, profit should be 0. So I say to value 0. And by changing which cell, so I want to find sales quantity. So I'll say quantity. And I'll just press OK. And it has run some solution and I'll just press OK back. So it says now your profit will be 0 if you sell only 30 quantity because my variable cost is also around 30. Alright. So that is how you use GoalSeek. Let's do another case. In this case, it is asking to find out the variable cost at which profit will be 0. So I have to find the variable cost in this case, and variable cost is a percentage of sales. So I have used a formula here. Alright. So let's move to what if analysis back and press GoalSeek. So I have to set cell. I'll set this cell and I have to set it to 0. And this time I have to change a variable cost. And why I have used variable cost as percentage of sales? Because variable cost contains this formula, which is 50% of the sales earlier. In this case, it says if the variable cost rises to 145, in only then I will have my profit equals to 0. And for that, variable cost as a percentage of sales should be around 90.625. Just suppose if I have my figures back and instead of using variable cost as percentage of sales, I just try to use variable cost. So I'll say set cell equals to this to value 0, and by changing cell would be just change this cell. So if I press, I'll get an error because it should contain a value, not a formula. That is why I have to use variable cost as a percentage of sales. Alright. So yeah, that is how you do it. And let's move to data tables. Data tables is something which is very useful when it comes to what if analysis and the most used part of what if analysis. So let's go to data tables and see what exactly case we have here. So I have prices given here and I have quantity and revenue. Like before, we have variable cost, then we have your fixed cost, total cost, and your profit. So I want to use data tables here. So suppose I am writing price here. I just wrote 7 and here I am just going to add 1 to it. So it would be 7, 8. And then if I drag this till here, I'll get price till 18. So similarly, I will put quantity here. So I have around suppose 150. I'll just say 150 and I'll increase by 10. It should be 150 plus 160. And I'll just move downward and I'll just try to fit this in one way. All right. Now what I'll do is I'll just go and write profit here. So I'll just put this and profit. What is the purpose of data table is it should show me what exactly my profit will be if my price and quantity will be changing. So what I'll do is I will select this data set and then I will go to what if analysis and I'll go to data. Now it is asking me what is raw input. So raw input is your price. I'll say price and then it is asking me column input. So column input is your quantity. I just select this and now I'll press OK. So this has filled me with the figures. What is going to be my profit in different case scenarios. So in order to verify this, we can say when price is 10 and quantity is 200, profit is 800, and this is exactly what it was. So data tables has shown me different figures. Now what I'll do, I can quickly go through this and I can make it look better by going to home, and I can do conditional formatting. I can define a rule and I'll say the rule is containing less than 0 should be in red. So I'll just go to format and then I'll select my fill, which is going to be red for numbers which are less than 0. I'll just press OK. And similarly, I'll just remove this one. Okay. And similarly, what I can do is I can again select this back, go to home, conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, new rules, format only that cell contains value greater than 0. And this time I'm going to choose green color for all the values which are greater than 0. Just press OK and I have it. Alright. So if you see, only 0 is the one which is not color because I haven't defined any condition for this one. So I'll just put it. So this has given me altogether different cases. I can also ask for more if I want to. I can increase these prices and then again put my data tables back. So this is how it is done. Now one more thing I want to show you. So I'll just try to give you a better perspective. We can use a scroller also here. So in order to do that, what I'll do is I'll go to File and I'll go to Options and I will activate Developer tab. So I'll go to Customize Ribbon and I'll click on Developer. I'll just add this and now I have a Developer tab. So I'll just click on Developer tab and here I am going to put Insert. So I will select a scroll bar. I'll just choose this one and now I am going to draw this. I'll just draw this here. And right now this is lifeless. So I'll add life to it by just going to Format Control. And I say the current value at present is around 150. The minimum value could go to 120. So I'm defining more here. And the maximum could be around 400. Incremental change is around 10 and the page change should be around 20. And cell link should be this. So I'll just press OK. And now if you see, I can actually scroll through. So this is showing me the figures for 120 because I started with 120. So now I can see my profit when my quantity will be around 120 and price will be at 7. Similarly, I can also see my quantity around 120 and prices if would be going again 17, 18, I get higher profit. I can scroll this down and I have used page change as 20. So this is going to skip 20 quantities in between. I can scroll up also in this similar way. Now what I'll do is I'll add a scroll bar for your price also. So in order to do that, I'll just click and I'll select scroll bar back. Now I will just produce this. And right now I can't scroll anything because this is lifeless. So I'll just right click on it. I'll go to Format Control. Now I'll say the current value would be around probably let's go for 3 and minimum value would be 1. So from price will be starting from 1 and going till 20. Incremental change, let's keep it 1, and let's page change also should be 1. Cell link, I'll say this one, and I'll just press OK. So now if you see, I have my prices and I have my quantity at different scenarios. Earlier we had prices from 7. Now I can see from 3 also. And since I have chosen minimum to be 1, so I can see that one also. So I'll just press scroll bar and I can see. Alright. So now I can see my best case, worst case, everything in this data table itself, and I can find out what would be the next thing. So that is what most of the marketers do. They see different scenarios when they have to produce a product, and similar kind of analysis is done by people in working in stock market, and then most of the economists also use cost and benefit analysis by doing data tables. So that is how it is done. All right. So yeah, that is all for this video. I see you in the next.